Hello and welcome to Mr. Lord Ludicrous. This is Hans Briggs.
And this is Killarubo.
And we've come back from a long break that we haven't produced any videos, surely because we've been so bloody busy, both of us, in our private lives. In our very private lives. So, why don't you tell me what we're seeing here?
We're seeing Diablo 3. And the reason we're seeing this is because the new expansion has been announced.
Yeah, so what better reason to come back from a long break than making a video about the Diablo 3 expansion? Yes. After I personally was so hyped up about the initial release of Diablo 3.
And I was looking forward to the release of Diablo 3 too. And I'm actually quite looking forward to the new expansion, Lords of Shadow.
Yeah. Well, Reaper of Souls it's called.
I was totally wrong.
Yeah, so basically we're making a video just to show some of the new features that are going to be in the expansion, and later on we're going to talk a little bit about Blizzard's intentions and whether it's going to whether it could be a driving factor to go back to the game, or whether you think it's just going to be as crap as many people think Diablo 3 original was. And yeah, so we're going to have a bit of a discussion about that. So, first things first. That new class. The Crusader. What do you think about that?
The design is very awesome. Looks like a very strong, tanky character. Looks like it's going to deal a lot of physical damage and be at the front of everything. Maybe like the Barbarian, but not so much.
Yeah, I mean, the way that they described it officially was basically that they have a mid-ranged melee fighter, and you can see that, well, obviously from his armor and his shield and helmet and whatnot, that he looks like quite the tanky character.
Yeah, he does.
So he's like, yeah, I suppose you could say the leader of a party, which wouldn't actually be too bad. Because one of the problems that I've always had with the wizard, as you can see me playing right here, is the wizard is really squishy.
Yeah,
especially in higher difficulties. I mean, this is just normal mode, but everybody can play that. So, yeah, so they've got a couple of abilities. Obviously, they didn't show them all because either they haven't fully finished them yet to the point where they can show them off, or they're just still making them up as they go. I'm not sure how Blizzard works, but yeah, so that's the basis of the new Crusader.
Yeah, I really like the weapon that they modeled him with. It's...
What, the flail and the shield?
Yeah. The flail especially looks really awesome. It looks like it's gonna reach mid-range. I didn't know that it was a mid-range melee. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that a lot from his skills. Like, a lot of the range is like halfway across the screen, which is quite nice, especially for a tanky character. If they can engage them at mid-range and then take the damage and keep attacking while they're doing that, it seems like, in theory at least, it seems like quite a solid game plan.
Yeah, I agree. Alright.
But the Crusader isn't the only thing that's being added to the expansion. There's a lot of other things, like for example a new level cap. New level cap of 70. Yeah,
that should add a lot more in-game and a lot more replayability to the game, and people will be trying to get to that level cap with every single class. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most people are already on the current level cap of 60.
Yeah.
And what this means for the other classes as well is that they're going to be putting in new skills for them, which I'm very excited about, actually.
Yeah. It'd be great to see all the classes with new skills. Just wondering what they are, really.
Yeah, so I'm just sort of wondering if I should research that, or should I be surprised on launch?
Well, I don't know. It's a hard decision.
It's just I'm so curious, but at the same time I want to know.
Yeah.
And a bit of a torture, really. Yeah. So, let's talk about other content that's being added. So, with the Crusader, obviously what we're going to see, as we've seen with Lord of Destruction for Diablo 2, is they're going to include a new act. Now, the official statement that Blizzard has given on at Gamescom is that the new act will be roughly the length of Act 2, which I'm playing right now.
And Act 2 is like the longest of all the acts, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, Act 1 is like the longest one that they had.
Oh, yeah, but that's like the whole tutorial and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of introducing you to the game mechanics and
Yeah.
just introduction to the story and all that. And but the thing is that all of the acts get progressively shorter.
Yeah. So 2 is the second longest one, so
Mm.
it's still a good length for an act to
Mm.
be, especially one that they're introducing you. So like Laws of Destruction, do you think that they're going to introduce more classes than just the Crusader?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, Blizzard hasn't said anything. They haven't said yes, but they also haven't said no. So I'm really hoping that they put in another class.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So that so it's a bit more bang for buck.
Because Lords of Destruction had 2 or 3 classes.
But then on the other hand, on Lord of Destruction, they never intended to make more classes than that. They never intended to have more expansions than just one.
Yeah.
Whereas for Diablo 3, they've announced several expansions. They haven't actually said the number of total expansions that they're going to have at the end, at least not to my knowledge.
Okay. So they might like space out the characters then.
It could be. It could be that we have a similar thing as in Lord of Destruction, that they're going to add a new class with the next expansion after this one, and that's where they're going to stop. But at this point, yeah, it's really not sure, and I'm not sure if Blizzard's made up their mind about that yet. Or they might have, but of course I wouldn't say that yet.
Alright, so let's talk about the end game.
The end game, yes.
Because I'm sure that many current Diablo 3 players will be interested in that.
Yeah, I mean, having a story and all that is good and fine, but what is the thing that keeps you playing in a game like this, which, if you just watch it, and for the first time if you're watching it, it seems quite repetitive. Doesn't that get boring? The question is, how do you create a suitable endgame that will make people keep playing?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I think that with the new updates in this expansion, they've got a very good end game, including the endless dungeons is what I'm looking forward to the most.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's endless replayability right there. They're totally random each time.
Yeah, so what these what these endless dungeons are is they are completely randomly generated. According to Blizzard, they are completely randomly generated. And when it comes to things like loot, it's much more encouraging to keep playing that, because they're also intending to update their looting system.
Yeah, I've heard about that, and it goes with the levels that you've currently got in your skills, doesn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah, so what they're intending to do with the new system is to adjust it to what you've currently got, and then you have a chance to then you've got a chance to get something better.
Okay, that sounds very good. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that as well, and I mean, like, farming up dungeons to get more loot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh hell yeah, that'd be awesome. It's much more encouraging if there's some sort of a goal in sight, but otherwise, if the loot system is like it currently is, then it's kind of like,
Why bother?
why bother? Because you've got pretty high stats, and when you think about it, the stats that you want, first of all, having them all in there is quite a small probability, and then all of the stats being better than your current ones is even less likely. So you're farming for days without much to show for it.
Yeah, and the loot system that they're going to implement definitely is going to change that. So.
Yeah. And also they said that they have a way to improve the unique items quite a bit.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome, because the unique items currently are not that amazing, but yeah, seeing them improve.
I mean, the unique items are okay, but currently there's not really any reason to have a unique item equipped that is less than required level 60. Just because after that, you get yellow items and blue items that are so much better than that.
Exactly.
So much more beneficial. And I mean, I must say, it does feel nice to to just equip. I mean, I'm not sure if it's just me or if it's a general thing, but for some reason I really like having a unique item equipped.
Yeah, because I mean, it's one of your own.
Yeah, and I mean, it's you drop it, and then it's like, oh my god, I've just dropped this really awesome item, but oh wait, it's crap.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to wear it because now I've dropped it, you know, and that was one of the things that I was quite frustrated with. So hearing that they want to really improve the unique items is very encouraging for me to hear.
Yeah, and another thing that's exciting me is that they're going to add in new quests.
Yes.
And new monsters in those quests as well.
Mm.
So we're not going to see the same monsters that we always do. Well,
Yeah.
the changes of reacting and all, but you know what I mean. Well,
I think I do. So yeah, and apart from that, what else are they adding? Like, they've said, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think what they're intending to do is, you remember how at first, when they announced Diablo 3, when they wanted to include other crafters, they had a mystic, but then they scrapped it because they thought, oh, you can just basically craft everything that's for the mystic at the blacksmith.
yeah.
I was actually quite unhappy with that decision because, well, I like playing a mage, quite obviously, as you can see here. And so I was kind of looking forward to having my own sort of crafting place for that. And I think what they've said is they're going to bring that back.
Oh, okay.
And if they have decided to bring that back, then most likely it would be improved
Yeah.
than what they had in mind before that.
Well, they have talked about. I know for certain that they've talked about new crafting options. So that could be part of the Mystics journey, especially they're adding in new gems and new recipes.
Mm.
So having a Mystic to do all that stuff, especially with the new gems, might be interesting.
Yeah, that'd definitely be interesting.
Yeah.
Alright, so basically one thing that we want to know is keeping all these changes in mind, and by the way, these are most likely not going to be all the changes, because there's still a BlizzCon to look forward to, and they're probably going to announce more in that. But based on these changes, would that be enough to get you back to the game? And because I mean, there's been a lot of hate, and some of it, I must say, was really unjustified.
Yeah.
When it comes to it, because it's not a terrible game. It's just that it's, I think, a lot of people were expecting
a lot more.
It to be a lot more like Diablo 2.
Yeah, but Diablo 2 is like really old, and people have to realize that they needed to do something new. And I think they did that with Diablo 3. They just needed to tune it up a bit more, and that's what I think they're doing with this expansion. But I think that people have kind of lost interest in Diablo 3, so I don't think this expansion will get as much numbers back as they hope. But we'll still get a number of people back.
Yeah, I mean,
you're definitely playing it.
Yeah, I'm definitely actually considering going through the entire, just starting a new wizard, and just going through the whole thing again, just cause I haven't played it in so long, and especially after hearing about the expansion. But yeah, it's probably going to be a similar experience to when Diablo 3 first came out. That I'm going to play it through maybe several times, and depending on how good the end game is, I'm going to quit after X amount of hours.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to keep my expectations low of it.
But it looks pretty awesome so far.
I mean, so far it looks pretty good.
Yeah, and they've definitely made the right decision with all these changes so far.
Yeah, so what we really want to know is, are these changes good enough to bring you back? If they're not good enough, what do you suggest they do? Because it's easy to say that something sucks, but it's hard to improve something.
Yeah, and it's hard to say what needs to be improved. Because, like, I couldn't possibly think of anything that needs to be improved in with the new updates that are happening. Yeah, but if you've got any anything that you think personally would be better in the game, put them in the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Comments. So we'll have a read through, and if there's any questions about anything, we'll try our best to answer it. Keep in mind, obviously, we don't have all the answers to most stuff.
Yeah.
We are just going by what we've heard from reports from Gamescom and interviews.
Yeah, we're not Blizz workers.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, and needless to say, we are quite excited.
Oh, of course. I can't wait to see it.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably watch you play it because I'm too poor to buy it myself. Yeah.
Okay, so thanks very much for watching,
Thank you
and
for
we hope to hear from you guys.
Yep, see you later.